Do you need to focus on my face? There we go. Greetings, friends. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittina, otherwise known as Book Looks by B, and today I am going to be talking about The Veiled Threat by Sophia Menesini. Woo! So this book was actually a commission by the lovely Sophia Menesini, so if you want to see my book look on it, stay tuned. Thank you so much, Sophia Menesini, for commissioning me for this book look. I really enjoyed your book, and thank you so much for sending me a physical copy. The cover is beautiful. The Veiled Threat is a high fantasy story. It's an adult story that follows Captain Shea Lara, who is an elf pirate. And in the beginning of the story, Shea is currently the reigning captain of the Veiled Duchess. Captain Shea Lara is the most feared pirate on the seas of Nerid, which is the world where this book takes place in. She has recently just obtained her final score, like the main mission where she can retire, she can call it quits, and then live her life in luxury. However, one day, a mysterious figure clad in a cloak comes up to her with an offer that she can't refuse. And this offer includes not only getting something that she's wanted for the longest time that could help her, but also includes kidnapping a princess. So now not only does Captain Shea have to deal with the repercussions of kidnapping a princess, but some romantic tension starts to build between Captain Shea and this princess in the story. So if you're into high fantasy novels, high sea adventures, and steamy queer romance scenes, and a cast of super awesome queer characters, be sure to check out Sophia Menesini's The Veiled Threat. To my knowledge right now, it is book one of, I think, a potential series or trilogy, so definitely go check it out. I will give a disclaimer, however. For any of my young readers or parents of young readers, if you are interested in reading The Veiled Threat, keep in mind that it is an adult fantasy book, so that is going to include not only violence, but also very graphic sex scenes. So if you are not comfortable reading that, or if you are not comfortable having your young reader read very descriptive queer sex scenes, keep that in mind. I rated it a 4 out of 5 on GOODREADS, so I really enjoyed this story. The only other major critique I would have on this book would be that as I was reading throughout the entire book, I did notice there are a lot of editing errors. It doesn't really bother me that much when I'm reading, but I know for other readers who were probably interested in reading this, that could bother some of you, so if you are gonna pick up this book, keep that in mind. Other than that, I don't think it really distracted me from the story or enjoying the book. There were a lot of moments where I had a hard time putting the book down because I just really wanted to know what happened next. I thought the plot was really cool. I'm a huge fantasy reader, as some of you may know. I love reading fantasy. I love it. It's my jam. It's my thing. So being immersed in a very magical world with a very complex magical system with a bunch of magical creatures and characters, I feel at home when I'm reading fantasy books. So I really enjoyed this. And when Sophia Menesini first commissioned me, when she first requested me to read the book and then also create a book look off it, I was down. Plus, I love pirates. I love the aesthetic and the stories of pirates. I love high sea adventures, so this was really fun to read because it was also placed in a fantasy world. So if you're interested in reading The Veiled Threat by Sophia Menesini, I definitely recommend picking it up. And if you do, definitely let me know. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought about it. And also, feel free to check out my book look coming soon on The Veiled Threat. Wah! I had a lot of coffee this morning, so I'm kind of like, yee! Right away. There are sea elves, I'm in. And apparently, Shea has hydromancy, which means she has control over water, and I think that's awesome. That's such a cool power. She already sounds like a badass. 1, she's captain. 2, she's a sea elf. And 3, apparently she has mage-like powers over water. Her power is all around her. She's on the sea. She's a pirate, so I feel like you don't really want to mess with this chick. But also, she kind of has like a swag to her. Like, she's not unfazed, I don't say, but like, you know, she's really laid back. She's in her element on the pirate ship being captain. So I think that's really cool to see this woman who knows her shit. So you don't want to mess with her. I don't really know how to gauge Venus. Upon first meeting her, she sounds super hot. However, she just recently tried to like pickpocket Shea. She tried taking the pearl out of Shea's pocket. So I don't know if I could trust her. She's sexy and all, but I don't know if I could trust her. Okay, so Poseidon exists. Like, he's a god in this story, which makes me wonder now, because V is named Venus. Is she a goddess, but in like human form? If Poseidon exists, I'm assuming other Greco-Roman mythological gods exist too, so we'll see. But part of me is suspicious of Venus. On top of that, she just used magic. I think she's a goddess. Right off the bat, I'm just gonna call it, I'm calling it. The V is a goddess, but in human form. Not gonna lie, Ceto Ceto? I think it's Ceto because it's spelled with a C. Ceto sounds like a badass queen. Like she's a bad bitch. And I understand she branded our protagonist Shea. However, that's a badass way for revenge. Not saying it's good. I think that's terrible. You should never hurt people. But Ceto's given me that bad bitch vibe. As I'm reading along, I want to know more about the magic system. And also, after meeting Ceruleus, the fun little homunculi lion bird thing, I just want to know more about all the magical creatures. How does Shea have hydromancy? Do all elves have magic? Can humans use magic? I want to know more about the magic. And I hope it just gets explained later on in the story. Oh snap. Okay, Joanna, you ain't no distressed damsel. One thing that I loved about Joanna's chapter when she first wakes up on the ship is that this girl don't panic. This bitch ain't panicking. She's good. Nothing's phasing her. She wakes up in a totally different environment on a ship, no idea where she is, and I love that she has just a cool head. She doesn't freak out, she doesn't scream, she doesn't cry. She's just like, okay, I need to get my shit together and I have to get the fuck off this boat. How am I gonna do that? Me, on the other hand, if I woke up on a ship, I would be freaking out. I would be losing my fucking mind. I would not be as calm as Joanna. Ori? What's an Ori? They seem like water elementals. They're described like water elementals, but whoa, that whole fight scene between Shea and the water elementals and her magical sword sounded so badass. And for anyone who is interested for my book look coming soon, the makeup inspiration for that one definitely came from the scene of when Shea was battling the Ori. Yee, it was so cool. Okay, so when Shea and the crew are docking in, I think it's Orena. Shea, you're just cool, gonna let Joanna just like walk off the boat like unsupervised without an escort? You're just gonna let her go? She's just gonna go off on her own? You don't at least, you know, suspect that she's gonna run for her life because you kidnapped her? You gonna trust her like that? She gonna run. Princess Joanna's about to run. As much as I love romance, I feel like Joanna and Shea are kind of rushing into the relationship a little quick. For example, when Joanna and Shea are out having dinner at Shea's foster family's house, and they get into that really steamy scene. Shea's old bedroom. I mean, I get it. You guys are infatuated. You both are like into each other and you're vibing. But I feel like Shea is asking Joanna too much to sacrifice her queendom for her. You guys just met. Joanna has a lot of responsibilities on her plate. She's about to be queen, and I feel like it's a little selfish. Huh. I think it's kind of selfish of Shea to ask her to throw all that away just to save herself. But I love and I appreciate that Joanna stands her ground and she's just like, no girl, I'm not gonna sacrifice my queendom. Excuse me. I'm not gonna sacrifice my queendom just for like a romantic interlude with you. For Shea to go in and ask Joanna to sacrifice this, I just feel like, one, that's not fair, and two, you don't know her like that yet. So that shouldn't be a conversation at all. And I understand you're trying to save Joanna's life, but I feel like Joanna understands that there's a much bigger picture and she has a much bigger duty, which again, respect, Joanna, respect. When Peter's death scene comes up and she's all like, oh no, it's kind of a boring long story. Girl, that is not a boring story. That death scene ain't boring at all. That was like some Titus Andronicus stuff. Everyone's stabbing each other and then Shea becomes captain. But also, how did the crew not lose their shit when everyone's just stabbing everyone? Especially when Shea is getting into the stab battle. Shea, you need to calm down. You're being too loud, breaking shit, throwing everything just cause Joanna says, nah girl, I gotta worry about my queendom. I feel like this whole time at Dari's house, Shea kind of turns into like an angry, angsty little teenager. It's like when she goes home, she reverted back to her old 16-year-old self because Dari, her foster mom, comes in, comforting her, bringing her new clothes, you know, taking care of her, being a good foster mom, and then Shea comes back at her, talks back to her. What the fuck, Shea? Excuse me? Miss Dari is coming in, and she bringing you new clothes, and you gonna talk back to her like that? Oh no. And you in her house, girl. Oh no, no, no. I get that you're hurt, Shea. You got rejected by Princess Joanna, but that doesn't give you an excuse to be mean to people, especially your foster mom who's bringing you new clothes, who let you back into her house. You're a grown-ass woman, Shea. You have your own ship. You didn't have to come back to this place. If I ever talked back to my parents like that, best believe I would've gotten my ass beat. And she doesn't even apologize about talking back to Dari after she hugs her and Phoebus when she's about to leave. What the hell, Shea? I was rooting for you. On the topic of Dari, after meeting Dari and finding out that she's a nymph and she has other like these cool power stuff, I'm on my tippy toes. I don't know why. I just want to seem taller than I actually am. For anyone who doesn't know, I am 5 foot on the dot. Like on the dot. So if you see me doing this, it's because I want to feel taller than I actually am. Anyways, we meet Dari and she's a nymph. So it just makes me even more curious. So we got elves, we got humans, and now we have nymphs, and we have this thing called ceruleus. And I just want to know more about what other magical races and creatures do we have. Please tell me more about this magic system. On the topic of it being a high fantasy story, I love and I appreciate whenever there are, when there are maps. I love maps in books. I think it's so fun. One, because I'm that kind of reader where if I'm traveling around the world via the story, I like to refer back to the map and be like, oh, we were once here, and now we're here, and now we're going here. Oh my god, yes! I get so excited over maps. I also love and I appreciate that there is a glossary in the back. Again, because we're in a high fantasy world, there's a lot of different terms and different creatures and a lot of different like fun, cool words that I have a very hard time pronouncing. So having a glossary in the back and a reference guide for all these new things that I'm learning helps with the reading experience. So thank you for that. Ugh, okay, I was really hoping after the scene where Shea and the crew and Joe are about to leave and the Arethusan Navy comes in, I was really hoping for a ship battle. However, I'm happy that the conflict was resolved, and I'm really happy that the captain of one of those naval ships, pardon me, not a captain, he was a quartermaster, becomes a bro and he's willing to help them out. However, I do suspect him a little bit, mostly because it's like, how are you so trusting and so willing to be down with this plot to infiltrate the Arethusan queendom? Are you gonna betray them? That's my biggest concern, because I feel like you were too down too easily for this idea. And it's like a cockamamie scheme that Shea and her crew came up with, so I mean like, I feel like a betrayal's in the works. Oh, damn. Okay, see, I called it. I knew the crew was gonna get betrayed, they were gonna get caught if they tried to set foot in Arethusa, because they're already wanted for the crimes of kidnapping Joanna, so I knew they were gonna get caught one way or another. Especially with this like crazy infiltration mission. Okay, so after meeting Ceto, yeah, we get a whole bunch of stories about this cruel, evil queen. And after meeting her and reading her scenes, I really want to know her history with Shea. I really want to know the history and the trauma that she instilled in Shea. That sounds very dark. However, there's just so much animosity between Ceto and Shea that I just want to know. What went down between you two? And even CAEN doesn't like her. CAEN's like the most laid-back, chill character. I love CAEN. He's probably one of my favorite characters, aside from Aster and Ceruleus. The betrayal! The betrayal! I was just raving about how I thought CAEN was a cool character, and then he backstabs Shea. And also, I guess V is in on it too, because she shows up out of nowhere. I don't know where she came from, but she's here, which makes me think even more like, heck yeah, she's a goddess if she just appeared out of nowhere. With the pearl. Dang, all of Peter and Shea's hard work. Betrayed! However, now at the same time as I'm reading along, I understand why CAEN did that. I understand why he betrayed Shea, because he didn't want her to die. But is this really better? Is being back in Ceto's control, you know, with a fancy leash and all like that, is it really better than Shea going out the way that she wanted to go out? Is it? And apparently, Ceto has a magic mirror. Oh my gosh, okay. There has to be some lore or history. This needs to be explained. Why does Ceto have a magic mirror? Where does she get this magic mirror from? Are there other magic mirrors? I have so many magic questions about the magic system and now magic mirrors. Ooh, okay, so when everyone is at dinner with Ceto, with Queen Ceto, everyone's sitting around the table. Not surprised that the evil queen is gonna backstab our crew. Oh snap! But it don't matter because she's dead! Damn, never mind. Okay, she's not gonna die. I guess she's just drugged. I feel like that was just a missed opportunity. You guys should have just killed her. Why'd you just drug her? You could have been done with. You guys could have been free of her. You should have just killed her there. Oh. Learning about the Underdeep and the elves and their traditions and their connection to the gods through Thetis, another elf in the story, is pretty cool. And I hope we get to explore more of the elves and again the magic system in the next book. Oh, So cool. I get that you're in love with Joe, Shea, but CAEN is right. This is a moment where I feel like Joanna, is a little bit more of a mature character than Shea. And it's because Joe understands her duty and her responsibility to her people as a queen. That's why she's not willing to give up when she's traveling back home. Shea, however, I understand that Shea loves Joe, and it shows so much that she's willing to give up her captainship, her reign over the Veiled Duchess. She chooses Joe over her crew. And to me, I'm just like, damn, girl, I hate to watch you relinquish your power. But I mean, at the end of the day, she loves Joe. And I think there's a beauty in that too. But I do wish you didn't have to sacrifice your power for love. The carriage scene where Aster is driving Joe and Shea under the cover in the carriage, that was a really, really sweet heart-to-heart between the two characters. However, now that I've read it, it makes me think that one of them is gonna die. And Shea's the main character, so my immediate thought is like, now that you've had this heart-to-heart and you guys have actually like confessed your sibling family love to one another, it just makes me think that Aster is gonna die. He's gonna die or something terrible is gonna happen. And I'm terrified because I love Aster. And I was right! Oh, poor Aster! Aster got the tips of his ears cut off. It's fucked up. It sucks even more. One, because it's extremely cruel to hack any part of someone's body off, but because of the social meaning of an elf getting their ears cut off, especially in connection to how elves are enslaved and sometimes the tips of their ears get cut off by their masters, that type of act of oppression toward this magical race makes it all the more worse, especially for a character that's so like happy-go-lucky like Aster. Oh, ooh, okay, I had a feeling that Joanna's daddy had something to do with this. I didn't think he was gonna be the mastermind behind all of this. And that's because he ain't down for the matriarchy. How the hell did CAEN sneak in with some of the crew? Oh, our homeboy the Navy quartermaster. Hey. Okay, I guess you didn't betray them. I guess you actually were helping them out. Cool. Just for the record, Joanna's dad's an ass. In the battle between Mariner, Joanna's jerk of a dad, and Shea, I think Shea's about to lose her left eye. But I will say she's a pirate or ex-pirate, so an eye patch would be fitting. Oh no, 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 no. Yes, yes, Joe, stab that bitch. Ugh, the satisfaction of Joe stabbing her father. That sounds terrible, but he needs to die. I wish you were in the fight earlier, Joe, because then you both probably could have swarmed him and then Shea wouldn't have gotten stabbed. Oh, who is the voice inside of Shea's head? Aww, that's cute. I think it's cute how Shea gave Joanna the condition that we'll get married if you can catch me. Aha! And then she runs. That's a cute way to end it. I think Ami is Shea's mom. In the epilogue with Ami, with Erebos falling apart, I think that might be Shea's mom. Is it? I guess we'll find out in the next book. Ah! But with how that book ended, it gives me the impression that shit's about to go down in the next book. And who knows, Joanna might catch Shea, they might get married. So a part of me is expecting, one, Shea and the readers, all of us, we're gonna be delving a little bit deeper into the elves and more magical parts of this world. So it's got me excited. There may be a wedding. Oh my god, I love weddings. But also I feel like shit's about to hit the fan because we have a new character coming in and he sounds like a bad guy. So I'm excited to see what happens next in the next book. But that's all of my thoughts while reading The Veiled Thread by Sophia Menesini. I really enjoyed reading this. This was fun. So if you're interested, I definitely suggest going and picking it up. And again, if you do, please let me know down in the comments. I'd love to know your thoughts too while you read. If you have read it, let me know what you liked, what you disliked, and any other thoughts that you had while reading, because I'd love to geek out and chit chat with you guys about the book. In the meantime, feel free to go check out my book look on The Veiled Thread by Sophia Menesini. Thank you for joining me on another one of my book talks. If you like these kind of videos, please let me know. And like everyone else says, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will hopefully see you guys in the next video. Until next time, bye-bye!